But what now? Eric, you say what? Hey, Eric.
Hi. Yeah, I think it's incumbent upon all of us to carry on the important work that Charlie's been doing. I think one of the most important things I'd like to see is many times he called for the release of the Epstein files. So I see no better way to honor Charlie's memory than to have Kash Patel and Dan Bongino immediately release the Epstein files so we can all see that Donnie's actually a pedo.
All right.
What
do you say? So listen, let me just ask you.
Just call under your regular name.
Yeah. What do you say to somebody who says that we need more martyrdom, quote unquote? That was the question I put forth. And see, here's the important piece.
Question. That's horrible.
Here's the important piece of all of this is that what happens is when we're having a conversation, and I believe in the conversation, as more than anybody else, I will say, I welcome in these calls. People say, why do you take these calls, Dawn? Why do you leave the person on? Because I am somebody who has said for years, let's have the conversation. So when I say, what about this individual? Should this person step down? Should this person explain this? Should others widely condemn it? And you come on and talk about a different issue, which I also have addressed, if you knew me, because my whole thing in my life and in my career is expose every pedophile. I don't care who and where they are, expose them. I have done more than anybody, I will say more than anybody on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Dan Borowski, how often do I talk about this? They get sick of me talking about it and Dan not so much, but the rest, we love Dan. But I mean, last week we had a long time, highly respected by both sides of the aisle woman, right, who came on and talked about her advocacy for catching all of these predators. And by the way, not just the predators, but those who are the so-called the customers, the demand sign, which makes me nauseous. And so, honest to God, I don't care who it is with all this human trafficking, child trafficking, sex trafficking. I want every one of them behind bars, every single one of them. I don't care who they are. And you know that about me. So that was the wrong call for this show. I would say, if you don't think that I'm going to go off on that, yes.
Also, I just mean this guy just made the entire point we've been making for the past 5 days. Like we're preaching togetherness,
right?
And he calls Trump a pedo,
right?
You know, it's and under a false name because he's a coward.
Yeah. And by the way, what you have to know about me and us. I don't use your real name. I'll still take the call. Sure. I'll still entertain it.
We'd love to make you a regular caller. Jimmy Matthews is he's on the other side. He's one of our favorites. You kidding me?
Because and the truth is with Jimmy, who we love Jimmy. We welcome him. He goes to our events now.
Right up.
Right?
The art museum.
Chris Matthews' nephew ran up. The art museum steps.
I'd have a beer with him. You know, it's.
Thank you. You're right. Individual. You don't have to use a fake name. That's just it. We're not. I guess the other side.
You know what, Don? He can use a fake name. Just use the same fake name and stop trying to dupe the damn call screeners.
Yeah. Okay. But in any event, it's just a shame. And to talk about, and by the way, with the Epstein files, that was something that I've repeatedly said with Epstein, he should have been behind bars, never should have been allowed to cut that sweetheart deal, whatever happened, which was during the Bush administration, as I've said. And then crossed over into the next administration, which was the Obama administration. But President Trump, you heard on the steps of the Capitol, you heard the attorney, the longtime attorney, who I believe was also interviewed in at least one of the documentaries done on the young victims, as young as 10, 11 years old. The attorney speaking out and saying Trump was one of the people, just before he was president, had said, tell me how I can help you. Then even when he became president in 2016, let me help you with this. So President Trump has been supportive in getting out the word of this, cracking down on this, revealing everything. So that's not, in all honesty, that's not the issue here. That's not what's going on. So, But you see what happens here? When there's a talking point that the other side thinks they're not winning the argument, what do?
Yep.
Well, let's pivot to something else and change the topic. And I've talked about that topic. You know this. Dan's sick of me talking about that topic. Trust me, I've talked about it. You know. But right now, let's talk about this and let's root this out. I think part of what I'm trying to say here is if we don't root this out, if we allow this kind of thing